All right, a very big welcome to you, my awesome viewers and listeners from all over the world. Thank you for joining me on another great episode of your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now check this out. Diaspora Igbo group calls on Southeast communities to defend themselves against terror attacks. Now, I told you here some weeks ago that the fact that I have slowed down on the way I report killings on this channel does not mean that killings have reduced in Nigeria. It is a daily affair. No single day goes by without people losing their lives to terror attacks. And now this Igbo group, Diaspora Igbo group, is telling those at home to get up and begin to defend themselves. And we know that this thing is happening everywhere in Nigeria. So everybody get up and begin to defend yourselves. Even the DSS boss said it, that the police and the military cannot be everywhere at every time, that the people must become their own first line of defense. What a disaster. Now, let us get to the top stories. First is that statistic that was released. The numbers of casualties and terror attacks in the month of June 2025 alone. And the figures were staggering. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that, that update from Northwest Nigeria began shaking the political media space. An extremely massive crowd turned up for the coalition ADC, and for the past 24 hours the Tinubu cabinet has not been able to utter a single word. The usual rhetorics, they come out and say that the coalition does not mean anything, they are just losers. They've not been able to utter any of those words ever since this crowd turned up for the coalition ADC. Before I show you details of these top stories and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video. Now, in the last 48 hours, we have seen how terrible the thought process of some Nigerians can be. And this particular video is one of the proofs. Listen to Pastor Tunde Bakari trying to defend Buhari in this video. Watch it.
His government, Pastor Bakari, was accused of nepotism, economic mismanagement, insensitive response to insecurity, and some challenges we had in 2020 during the NSAS protest. In 2021, you also came out publicly to criticize his administration. Did you get to speak with him privately? How would you say he responded to your counsel at the time?
Well, truth be told, I had opportunity to speak to him very privately many times. And I would not go public against anyone who I had close relationship with. Normally, I'll first present it behind the scene. Now, one of the two occasions that I spoke loud and outside of private discussion was what happened in Sunday Igboho's house. I was really livid, and I remember saying, "You will never see me again," while ministering. And then he sent for me and said, "Do you know I knew nothing about it?" I said, "I wouldn't know. It's under your watch." He said, "Look, there are so many things the security people would do, initiatives that they would take, that they will now say they were acting on instruction." So there are occasions like that.
You saw that. Now that was Tunde Bakari there talking about when the DSS unlawfully broke into the house of Sunday Igboho. He said he was very livid at that occurrence, and then he publicly criticized Buhari during a sermon. Buhari then called him and told him that he was not aware of that incident. He was not aware of that operation. And we know that this was a popular slogan of Buhari's then, "I am not aware." So how are you trying to put this out as a defense for a man that took a job to preside over 200 million people, knowing that every decision you take is going to affect the careers, the livelihoods, the destinies of millions of people? And then you are not aware. Big things happen, you say you are not aware. If you are not aware, then what are you doing there? Why did you take the job of being the president of a nation when you know that you are sick? when you know that you are not well, when you know that you are mentally unstable. You took the job just to prove to Babangida that you can become a commander-in-chief. This is how these people are toying with people's lives. Okay, how about the shooting at Lekki toll gate? He was not aware too. This is what you want to present as defense for him? Somebody takes a job just to win an argument. It's the same thing many said Tinubu did. That he had a bet with Obasanjo that he will also rule Nigeria. And that he even changed the national anthem because Obasanjo was the one who switched it to Arise O Compatriots. So in order to spite Obasanjo, he had to switch it back to Nigeria. We hail the burial song. So this is what these people are doing with this country, playing kalu with Nigeria. You are not aware, and we should take that as an excuse. That, oh, it wasn't the man's fault. He was not aware of most of the things that took place under his regime. So you destroy people's lives unawarely. Ignorantly, you destroy the country. And then you handed it over to a man who is 3 times worse than you to bury it. Okay, when you were about to leave Buhari and you saw that everything had gone bad, why didn't you conduct a free and fair election? Why? So that you can live with that legacy. Nobody should just try to defend this man. He lived his life. Now he is gone. Whether he left in 2017 or he left 2 days ago as they claimed, the consequences of his actions and inactions will forever remain indelible in history, and there's nothing anyone can do about that. Now, let us look at the top stories. First is the statistic of the casualties in June 2025 alone. Just the 30 days of June, Nigeria recorded very staggering number of casualties. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that update from northwest Nigeria began making the rounds. A written report and a video, actually, of how the coalition ADC shut down northwest Nigeria to the shock of Aso Rock. Let's start by taking that update on the statistic of casualties in June 2025. Look at how the papers reported it. 1,111 Nigerians killed, 276 abducted in June 2025. New security report reveals. No fewer than 1,111 Nigerians were killed and 276 others abducted by non-state actors in June, according to a report by Beacon Security and Intelligence Limited. Wow. You saw that. That was Beacon Security Nigeria Limited there, reporting that a whopping 1,111 Nigerians were killed by terrorists within the 30 days of June alone, and 276 were abducted. Now, many Nigerians will argue that the real number was even more than twice what was reported here. But let us work with this number that we were given. 1,111 people within just 30 days. That is an average of 37, at least 37 per day. 37. Now, I'm going to do my research on the war between Israel and Iran, and even the one between Russia and Ukraine, to see if they lose up to 37 people in a day. These are countries that are, full-blown war that the whole world is talking about. Do they lose 37 people in a day? This was why Peter Obi said this country is at war, and by now we should have declared a war. The sad thing about Nigeria is that when you talk about casualties, when you talk about deaths, some people, because it has not touched their loved one, their friends, their family, it has not come near them, they think we are just noisemakers. But this is wrong. This is a country losing its humanity. This is a country sinking. And the only way we can deal with this issue, I've kept saying it, and this is what I'll keep saying, is to get the APC out of power, because these were the people that ushered in this level of terrorism in Nigeria. From 2014, when this party was formed, that was when we began to witness terror at this scale, and we are never going to be able to get over it, to get rid of it, until we get rid of the APC. Point blank. period. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to this tragedy, that update from the Northwest began making the rounds. The coalition ADC has been unveiling the party in different states of the federation. They plan to do it in all the states. It began from the FCT and now they are going from state to state. On this particular occasion, they were in Katsina State, Northwest Nigeria. Now, I am not talking about a rally where they went to pay people to gather. This is an unveiling. So everybody there matters. It was a union of stakeholders. But if you see this crowd, it was so massive that the Tinubu camp has not been able to say a word since that unveiling took place in Katsina. I have a written report here and I also have a video from that unveiling. Let's start by taking part of that written report. Look at how the papers reported it. PDP, APC, NMPP supporters decamp to ADC in Katsina. Hundreds of supporters of the People Democratic Party, All Progressive Congress, and New Nigeria People's Party in Katsina on Sunday officially defected to the African Democratic Congress. The move was led by Mustapha Inuwa, who heads the coalition in the state. Membership cards were distributed to the defectors, who included men and women from all 34 local government areas of Katsina State. Their defection was announced during the official launch of the party's Katsina State chapter of the party state. Speaking at the event held at the Continental Event Center in Katsina, the state representatives of the National Political Coalition Group, Lawal Batagarawa, lamented the alarming increase in insecurity, poverty, inflation, and the declining value of the naira. Batagarawa noted that multiple industries have collapsed since Bola Tinubu's administration began in 2023. You saw that. PDP, APC members dumped their parties massively to form this massive crowd that turned up for the unveiling of the coalition's ADC in Northwest Nigeria, Katsina to be precise. Now, let us take the video. You saw that. A very short but powerful video there. APC, PDP members crashed into the ADC. And this is what we have been witnessing in many states. We are expecting videos and pictures to come from Kogi State. It is happening in Kogi State too. Very massive movements because the North Central, the terrorist attacks in the North Central, Kogi, Plateau, Nasarawa, and Niger State, has been, too bad in the last few days. So the people are embracing this change so much. Niger State, 2 military bases taken over by terrorists in Niger State, and the army is struggling. They've collected one. They are still struggling to collect the second one. That is how bad it is in Niger State, to the point that even the governor to move outside Bina is a problem. And people are tired of this whole thing. They are saying, no, we need to begin to do things differently. Ever since this crowd came out for the unveiling of the ADC in Katsina State, the Tinubu camp has been quiet. Usually, you would have heard Bayo Ononuga or Sunday Dare or Daniel Bwala come out to say things like they are just wasting their time, they are a bunch of losers. But the rate at which these people are sweeping the APC and PDP members from the grassroots has become extraordinary. And this momentum, I believe, will be sustained. And if it is sustained, I don't see any way the APC is going to be able to deal with it other than to just get an INEC chairman and all the returning officers, straight out of Tinubu's pocket. People that will just be loyal to him 100%. That is the only way out with the momentum that the ADC is using. And that is why we are saying the ADC must also begin to look at how to counter that aspect of things. When you have seen that this man from left, right, and center, he has been cornered. No way out again. He's now depending on, something that is more like a war, where the INEC chairman and the returning officers will just announce whatever they want, completely different from what the people, gave out, even worse than the 2023 situation. And then he'll tell them, you just make the announcement, I will know how to handle it. This is what I believe they will want to do. And that is why I'm saying it ahead, for the coalition to also begin to tackle that aspect of things. And when they do, I am telling you that getting Tinubu out will be easier than we all thought. Anyway, make I leave am here. Make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here. So don't go away. Don't go.